Get ready for your family's summer adventure with Curry Honda in Chicopee. Hi, it's Cassie, and we want you to hit the road in the all-new 2026 Honda Passport, built for rugged trails and packed with style. Available in vibrant colors to match your vibe. Or pack everyone up in the new Honda Odyssey, the ultimate family minivan with a spacious interior, rear seat entertainment, and cabin watch to keep your kids in check. Come get your dream ride at Curry Honda in Chicopee on Memorial Drive or online at curryhondamass.com.
Classic Rock, it's 5:50, and Motley Crue with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny today with a high of 65. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 74. It's 43 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
You know, it's probably best to consult your doctor before taking medical advice from a celebrity, especially when their wellness hacks are outright disgusting and potentially dangerous.
Let me grab a pen.
Here's a list of wild wellness hacks shared by celebrities. Tom Brady said drinking large amounts of water will help prevent sunburns.
Really? Well, because you're always inside grabbing another glass of water.
Yeah.
You're never outside long enough to get exposed to the sun.
Kourtney Kardashian said her doctor told her that drinking man juice 4 times a week would help with fertility.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
How many Weight Watcher points is that? Because I'm a lifetime member and I want some answers.
64.
Jesus. I don't have that kind of space.
Beyonce. That's like convincing a dumb girl. Hey, you know, babe, you want to get fertilized? You got to drink this 4 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I heard Dr. Spock say it once on Star Trek.
He wasn't a real doctor.
You know that Vulcan move?
Yeah.
I can do that to you, too. Beyonce dropped 20 pounds in 2 weeks for Dreamgirls by giving up all solid food and just drinking a concoction of lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup. Oh, so she's on the go lightly for 2 weeks.
Or go immediately.
Megan Fox claimed that drinking apple cider vinegar before meals keeps you slim by cleansing you out your entire system. It does have some health benefits, though.
Allegedly. It just tastes terrible.
Kesha drank her own urine because she thought it was good for you.
And how'd that work out?
She wouldn't recommend it.
Really?
Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop sold jade and rose quartz eggs for women to put up their lady bits to increase feminine energy and increase muscle tone down there. They got sued.
What, you mean by the feet?
No.
The calves, maybe?
No,
Shins?
In the no-go hole. The saloon doors.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And Kim Kardashian received a vampire facial. We've talked about this many times before, which is when your own blood is drawn, then your blood's platelet-rich plasma is injected or topically spread onto your face. She said it was painful and wouldn't do it again.
Well, she must have had something to say.
Now, she will later, but that's
disgusting.
Why would you even think of doing something like that?
Because, like everybody else, they probably read it on TikTok and thought, wow, that sounds like a good idea.
Even if I saw that on TikTok, I would be like, I wouldn't want any part of that.
No, listen, I'm not smearing anything on myself to lose weight or tighten up my muscle tone.
Here's something surprising. It's been 20 years since Everybody Loves Raymond went off the air.
Really?
Yeah. And we're finally getting a reunion special next month. They're calling it the 30th anniversary special, although the show premiered in September of 1996. So it's only 29 years old. They must have been going through the Mayflower Marathon records. Yeah.
And 2/5 of the cast are gone, too. Peter Boyle and Doris Roberts are both gone.
Yeah. It'll be 90 minutes long on CBS, and it airs November 24th. Ray Romano and creator Phil Rosenthal will host, and several cast members will appear, including Brad Garrett, Patricia Heaton, Monica Horan, Madeline Sweeten, and Sullivan Sweeten. Those are the twin kids.
Yeah.
The Sweetens were a real-life brother and sister who played Ray's kids, along with Sullivan's twin brother Sawyer, who took his own life in 2015, just before his 20th birthday. Well, that was a downer of a fact. Was Dave Coombs writing this? Did you know that one of the boys offed himself on Everybody Loves Raymond?
Did you read that off a Dixie cup or something?
I actually wrote it on a Dixie cup. They will include a special tribute to Doris Roberts and Peter Boyle, who played the parents.
Well, there you go.
So that'll be something that you want to see.
Yeah, I'm probably going to miss that too.
Let's see. The naked baby on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album is not child pornography. That's according to a federal judge who dismissed a lawsuit filed by that naked baby. You remember this whole fight?
Yeah.
Spencer Eldon, who's 34 now, had sued Nirvana claiming he was the victim of child sexual abuse when he was photographed for that cover as a 4-month-old. But the judge says, quote, neither the pose, focal point, setting, or overall context suggests the album cover features sexually explicit conduct. The judge added that Eldon has financially benefited from being the Nevermind cover baby, including being paid to recreate it and selling autographed memorabilia. He also has the album title tattooed on his chest.
So he's really suffered damage.
That might have been the mistake. That you embraced it so much. You put a tattoo on your right, and you're like, wait a minute. This was violating my rights as a child. You might have had a better stance had you not had the album cover tattooed on your chest.
I assume that had to be submitted as evidence?
Yeah, I guess.
You're right. That kind of... It kills your whole assertion.
An attorney for the band says his clients are delighted to be, quote, free of the stigma of false allegations. Now on to, what's her name? Courtney Love.
Yes.
What are all the things that she did?
Well, you'd have to stack them up alphabetically.
Yeah. Have you ever had sex at a music festival? There are other things to do at music festivals besides taking the tunes. Groin-to-groin contact is a big thing. Turns out it's more common than you think. According to a new survey, 1 in 5 people who've attended a music festival in the last 5 years have gotten lucky. And 38% of them said they did it with a stranger.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen people at music festivals?
I don't know.
After the first day, they get kind of filthy.
I was at that folk festival down in Newport.
Yeah.
Those chicks were hot.
Yeah, but they're folks.
53% did it with a significant other, 16% with a friend or someone they came with to the festival with, and 16% backslid and hooked up with an ex. And not surprisingly, the promiscuity is highest at Burning Man with 47%.
Now, when they mean Burning Man, is that the name of the thing, or is that just what happens?
It would be the thing I would soon experience after our lovemaking session at Burning Man. The most popular copulation location is in the crowd. And the most popular position? Doggy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that way you can both watch the show.
Exactly. Kim Kardashian's new topless Esquire cover, dripping pearls down her chest, is lighting up the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she must have something to say.
Oh my God, the last time I got glazed like this was when Ray J yanked his custard bazooka out of my noodle nuke and turned me into a frosted toaster strudel in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Toaster strudel. Caitlin?
Whatever got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once gave her balloon knot the rusty trombone solo from Freebird. I was fermenting leftover tuna casserole in a bowling shoe.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I jackhammered that drainage pipe until it erupted so violently, her taint looked like it had been spray painted with clam chowder and Gorilla Glue.
Oh, my God.
You ever have Gorilla Glue and clam chowder?
Nope, not together.
Ah, your mother. And that is your Hollywood trash on Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock at 6:11, and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny today with a high of 65. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 74. It's 43 right now in downtown Springfield.
Scott Zolak will be joining us after 8 o'clock, brought to you by Window World. Lots of football to talk with him about, plus some things to give away, including tickets to Oktoberfest, the Student Prince, on October 10th and 11th. We'll give you all the details about that a little bit later.
I have a very important update.
You do?
Oh, yeah, where's that? Yeah, there you go. It's my Three's Company update, because I've been watching it. I've been knocking on our door. We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his.
Three's Company too.
What? I forgot. I knew about Terry,
Yes.
but I forgot about Chrissy's cousin
Yes.
that came to live with them.
Jenny Lee Harrison was the name of the actress.
Yeah, and she made her debut on Jenna Lee Harrison.
Yeah.
Chrissy's. Wait, where is the? Why can't I remember her name now? I just watched the episode last night.
It was
Chrissy's cousin Cindy Snow. It was Cindy Snow.
That's right. She didn't stay with them for very long.
No, and here's another thing. The other episode I watched the other night, Lana was just written off the show. Like all of a sudden, it went from one episode she's in the credits,
Yeah.
and then the next episode you can tell that the credits are a little bit different. They're slightly different. It's the credit opening where they're on the boardwalk, and they're playing all the carnival games and everything.
Right.
and then all of a sudden, they would pan to Richard Klein.
Right.
And then whatever Lana's real name was, Ann Wedgeworth, I believe.
Yes.
And then they would pan to her, and then it's taken out.
How come that was the case?
I guess she wasn't testing well. I've been doing too much research on the Three's Company.
I gotta tell you,
I'm really getting into this show. I want to know how it ends.
She was only on for apparently one season. I gotta tell you, there's something about that character that made me want to wear a condom while I was watching television. Like you could have caught something from her. I mean, you don't want to judge a book by its cover, but I just felt like there might be something burning down there.
It was like must see STD TV.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly my point.
But yeah, I totally forgot about the cousin, and I also saw another one with Chrissy's dad, the Reverend Snow.
The Reverend Snow. Who played the Reverend Snow? Hold on a second.
That was another famous actor.
Peter Mark Richmond, the Reverend Snow.
He was in a ton of movies.
Yes, he was. He died a few years ago.
Oh, that's too bad that he's no.
He was known
longer
as Mark Richmond. That was his screen name. But he was in Combat, Wild Wild West, the FBI, Hawaii Five-0. Man, he's in a lot of stuff.
And I'm as I'm watching these, I'm noticing a pattern. That every single one of them has something to do with a giant misunderstanding.
See, I never noticed that.
Multiple misunderstandings.
See, I never noticed that. I always thought every episode was intrinsically unique.
There was like an Ann Landers column that sounded like Jack wrote it, and he was having an affair with one of his roommates.
Yes.
So then everybody on the Three's Company cast thought that either Jack is hooking up with Chrissy or Janet.
Well, though I'm sure the Ropers knew that wasn't the case. He was gay.
Well, this was Mr. Furley. This was the Mr.
I'm
Furley.
sure Mr. Furley knew that because he knew that Jack was gay.
Yeah. It's funny because I got my kid watching this too, and she doesn't get it. And then I said, no, he's gay. He thinks he's gay. That's why he keeps dropping all those innuendos. And then she's like, oh, that's why he keeps saying things like that.
Exactly. You see,
Like, he's like, all right, Jack, get your rocks off. You wouldn't know anything about that, Jack, would you?
and the crowd starts laughing, of course.
Yeah.
You see, folks, from 1977 to 1984, there were almost virtually hardly any gay characters on television. I mean, now it's like they're all over the place, and that's perfectly fine. Probably reflects the population a little bit more accurately. But back in the 70s, woo, you didn't see that very often.
No, that was like a new thing.
To the point where they actually had to have an actor pretend he was gay when he wasn't actually gay.
But
it was the only way he was going to get that sweet apartment so close to his best friend Larry.
With those two chicks.
The only way he was going to live there was to pretend he was gay.
I really have a hard time believing that a guy like that, living with two girls like that, never had any contact with them at all. I mean, but he was always kissing them. He was always like, and they were like, freely into it. It wasn't like they were like, no, don't do that, Jack. Yeah. He would like, when he'd be playful with them, he was grabbing her and then like smooching her on the lips.
Sure.
Chrissy.
Well, truth be told, when I was in college, we lived in a house, and two of my roommates were women. But I had no shot with either one of them, so I didn't even bother to try. So it's like, what's the point?
They knew
really?
You had no shot with them.
Oh, I think everybody in the house knew I had no shot.
They were bringing home men.
And
they were like, look at this. This is what a real man looks like. Maybe one day you'll be like this.
Never came close.
Yeah. You were the cuck.
No, I wasn't even that. I had my own room.
You couldn't even watch?
No, none of us were allowed to watch.
That's too bad.
I mean, if I invited, I would have probably brought some homework. You would have studied up on some some philosophy homework or a theology book.
I find it
because I can't think of a better place to study philosophy, theology in that particular setting.
Well, that's kind of how the religious aspect of one of the episodes the other night when Chrissy Snow's father was in there. Remember Reverend Snow?
Yeah. I can't even think of a Jesuit education without thinking about some really filthy stuff.
There was this one time where Jack's standing in the apartment and Reverend Snow is sitting there on the couch, and then Larry knocks on the door, and Jack opens up the door, and Larry's like, Jack, you hooked me up with Roxanne. You wouldn't believe. And then Jack's like, no, don't say anything. And then he's like, she had me on my knees. And then he sees the Reverend's there, and he gets down on his knees, praying to God.
That's what's so funny about it.
That show was a timeless classic.
Oh, the double entendres shooting out all over the place.
The funny thing is, like, I'm watching the show, and it hit me that there's no cell phones, there's no computers, it's just waiting for a phone call to come over the actual landline telephone. It just seems so
Actually, I don't think there were any TVs on the set.
No,
I don't remember any. Can you imagine living in a situation where all you have to do in your house or apartment is to have conversations with the people you live with?
I don't even think they recognize TV. Like, I don't even think they referenced the TV. Like, nobody was ever sitting there watching one.
I mean, there's so many different levels in which the whole premise is completely unbelievable.
Why would you want that apartment if you didn't even have a TV in it?
I think it was the arch-shaped doors that really turned everybody crazy on that apartment. I'm
noticing the decor of both bedrooms too. Jack's was like blue, and then Chrissy and Janet's was like this Asian type, like almost looks like a Chinese restaurant. With the maroon color and the gold.
Right, it looked just like the Huki Lau.
Actually, it kind of does.
In fact, I believe. In season 3, Chrissy actually had a koi pond in her bedroom.
You know what? I've come to work almost every day for the last 20 years, and I never thought in a million years that I would be reinvigorated by a TV show that has been off the air for almost 40 years.
And I'm sure that management never thought in a million years that on their high-profile morning show, their idiot host to be talking about a show that's been off of the air for 40 years.
Yeah, there you go.
I know.
Yeah.
But yet, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away from it.
Down at our rendezvous. I love it. It's that 70s porno music that gets you going. Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three's company too. Come and dance on our floor.
Come and dance on our floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
With a lovable face that needs your face. Three's company too. And our rendezvous.
Three's company too. Wow, that's
the end.
It's 6:21 of Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:26, and the Black Crows of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam has the full forecast for you.
Yeah, I'm getting text messages from friends of mine that want to meet up at the Regal Beagle after work today.
Oh, it closed. It was over in Indian Orchard. I got plowed in there one day. I'll tell you why. This was going back like 20 something years ago. I had a car that I was Tim's Cartoons was at the corner over there.
Right across the street.
Right. And then Tim was he was a Minichog alum. That was like the big thing in town. Like, Tim, and then he opens up his own audio business. and I get a car starter installed there. It's going to take like 2 hours. This is like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So I called a friend and I said, "Hey man, do you want to meet me for a couple of beers over at the Regal Beagle across from the across from Tim's Cartoons?" So we went in there.
Yeah.
And he had to go to work, so he only had like one beer, and then he was drinking like sodas. Here I am, like, oh yeah, sure, I'll take a shot of this and a shot of that and a beer. And we watched Van Wilder. Remember the movie Van Wilder with
Sure.
What's his name?
I don't remember who was in it, but yeah.
No, the guy who's in the movies now. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is Van Wilder. And we sat there and we watched the entire movie. And then my car was done, to which my friend goes, "I don't think you can drive your car home." So he had to drive me home out of his way, and he was late for work because he had to drop me off. And then I had to figure out a way. I don't even remember how I think I had to wait till the next day to get my car.
I think you'd find if surveyed the people of Indian Orchard, every round of day drinking at the Regal Beagle ended almost exactly that same way.
With a viewing of Van Wilder,
maybe
and waiting for my car starter to be finished at Tim's Cartoons.
No, being unable to drive home safely.
We should do that, a round of where stuff was.
That would be great.
Was the Regal Beagle always in the same place, or was it? Or am I thinking of another bar? There was a wing place. It was up on Boston Road, and then it moved over to that area there.
Wing place and yeah.
It was like a barbecue or something.
Yes.
Why can't I think of the name of that?
I don't know.
See, we're gonna put the sleuths of the Rock 102 listener.
All right, we'll get to the bottom of all that stuff.
I hope we do. Are you ready to laugh?
I'm ready.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you,
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
My friend had a surgery from transition from a man to a woman.
Oh, really?
And I said, of all the things they cut, what hurt the most? And he said, the salary. Because he's going to make 20% less.
Get there.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102.
Here's your Western
6:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
The Ribbery. That was the name of the restaurant. And it moved to that other, it wasn't where the Regal Beagle was. It was a little bit further down the street.
So now it's where the Brickyard is.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
The Ribbery was on Boston Road.
Yeah.
It used to be across the street from that tax place.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and now it's no longer.
The Ribbery is no longer there. Now it's the Brick House.
The Ribbery.
The Brickyard. Brickyard, Brick House.
The Ribbery had some pretty decent food, too, from what I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then it's gone. It's all gone.
Hey, restaurant business is a tough biz.
It is. It's just weird how sometimes you think something that would be popular enough to stay alive would be, but you don't know the workings, I guess, of all the doings going on. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Hey, listen, you don't have to tell me.
Well, and I'm glad we solved that mystery.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Scoob. Some guy said the only time I went into work drunk was when I drank at the Regal Beagle.
I think the last time I went to the Regal Beagle, it was one of those nights where it was like an afterthought to go there.
Yeah.
Like we had already been to a number of places before going to the Regal Beagle.
Yeah.
And then, like, you ever go to a bar and it's not your first bar of the night, and the moment you step into the place, you say, this was a mistake.
It's trouble.
Yeah.
It's trouble brewing.
And it had nothing to do with the place. It just, it's the time.
It's how many drinks you've already had.
Yeah. It winds up being like a math equation. That was the last time I was in the Regal Beagle. I walked in for 5 minutes later. I'm like, I'm ready to go.
Ready to rock and roll.
Probably should have gone straight home.
Right. And you didn't. Like an idiot. Police arrested a Holyoke man on assault to murder and other charges on Tuesday in connection with the shooting that happened in the city over the weekend. Andrew Brito pleaded not guilty to assault with intent to murder, assault with a dangerous weapon, 3 gun charges, and 2 drug charges during his arraignment in Holyoke District Court yesterday. On September 27th, officers responded to a report of gunfire near 291 Pine Street. At the scene, they were informed that a bullet nearly struck a bystander, but no one was injured. Officers found shell casings nearby and that the gunfire had caused property damage. Detectives investigating the shooting identified Brito as a suspect and were granted a warrant for his arrest. Around 6:30 p.m. on September 30th, members of the Holyoke Police Narcotics Bureau, along with other agencies, arrested Brito near the site of the shooting. They arrested him on Beach Street and found that he was in possession of cocaine. Brito was previously convicted of discharging a firearm within 500 feet of a building in Chicopee District Court in 2018. During his arraignment, a judge ordered him held without bail until a hearing scheduled for today. It's unclear who authorities believe Brito intended to kill during the shooting. No further information has been released. Well, judging by his previous record, it doesn't sound like he was trying to kill anybody. It sounds like he was just firing a gun off in the air. He had a previous discharge.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to do that.
Are you not?
No. I mean, if you're going to fire a gun, it should be at a certified range. You should have the gun should be legally yours. You should be licensed. You just can't, pull your gun out, start, shooting up in the air out of celebration. Yeah. What do you think this is? The Wild Wild West? Bring Mr. Mass?
Yosemite Sam used to do it all the time. He used to point it down at the ground, too.
And where has he been the last 60 years? Nowhere.
He's retired.
Retired my ass.
He's rootin', tootin' cowboy.
His guns were confiscated. Probably spent some time in the stripy hole. That Yosemite Sam, it's nothing but a bad seed.
A Holyoke man faces assault and kidnapping charges following a police chase ending in East Hampton Tuesday afternoon. We heard about the police chase. Now we know why.
Yes.
Holyoke Police Chief Brian Keenan stated at approximately 12:50 p.m. on Tuesday, and officers were called to the area of 2991 Northampton Street regarding a man assaulting a woman inside of a vehicle. When the officer arrived, he saw a suspect and a woman who appeared to be unconscious. The Holyoke officer tried to conduct a traffic stop on the vehicle, but the suspect began speeding away recklessly and running red lights. The suspect was pursued by police on Route 202 and Route 10, driving through Southampton into East Hampton. Do they even need to note that he was driving through red lights? I mean, how many criminals on a police chase would be like, oh, wait, excuse me, we'll continue this after the light turns green?
Oh, now what do I do? I got a yield sign.
It's like that Canadian police chase where they're both stuck on the ice and then the cop gets out and helps the suspect push the car for a little bit forward so he can get a little more traction.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
Police pursued the suspect and arrested him in the area of 369 Giggity Main Street. He was identified as 35-year-old Kirk Boulier of Holyoke. Holyoke police said the victim knew Boulier. She was brought to a local hospital to be evaluated for injuries. During the investigation, it was also found that the vehicle Boulier was driving had been reported stolen out of Connecticut.
Oh, boy. It keeps getting worse and worse for this fella.
Kirk Boulier is charged with a slew of charges, and we'll see what happens there. Again, no disclaimer saying that AI was used in formatting this script.
Do you think they learned their lesson that maybe they shouldn't be promoting that, maybe?
I find it kind of weird that we were talking about that, and then all of a sudden the next day it was gone.
Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody probably contacted them and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we probably shouldn't let everybody know that we're using AI for our news stories.
Yeah, let's not tell anybody.
Maybe that has a negative connotation if we're working for you.
You're using AI? I thought you guys were all geniuses over there.
Nope. Absolutely not a genius in the whole building.
After 41 years in prison, Edward Wright's Springfield murder conviction was overturned. On Wednesday, he spoke out on the State House steps. When Edward Wright was 22 years old in 1984, he was convicted of murdering his friend, 24-year-old Penny Anderson. Earlier this year, his conviction was overturned by a superior court. Wright and his lawyers said he was wrongfully convicted. I went to trial thinking that the truth was going to come out and they would go after the guy who actually killed my friend, and that didn't happen, he said to a modest crowd. After Wright was released, the Hampden County DA's office, which originally tried the case, released a statement maintaining that Wright received a fair trial in 1984 and maintaining that overturning does not imply his innocence. His legal team, however, says he's fully exonerated, meaning he's absolved of any blame for the murder. Someone is exonerated when there is new evidence of innocence, but that overturns their conviction, and all charges against them are dropped or the person is acquitted, said the executive director of the New England Innocence Project. Wright is registered on the National Registry of Exonerations. Oh, yeah.
That's the who's who of who's been let out.
What do you register? What do you get the guy who's had nothing for 41 years?
Probably nothing with stripes.
The Hamden DA's office said they will not retry Wright, and their decision stems not from presumed innocence, but lack of still living witnesses. He does not have the option to sue the state for his 41-year in prison, but if he were to win, his lawyers say the maximum payout would be $1 million, or $66 for every day he was in prison.
You know, you read stories like this about, people that, maybe were falsely accused or evidence wasn't allowed into their trial that would have exonerated them. I mean, you see this. Can you imagine, though? I mean, you've spent all that 41 years in prison for a crime that you probably could have been found innocent if only all the evidence were allowed. I mean, that's like...
Well, it's not like they give you, like, a good defense lawyer when you can't afford one. They're giving you the guy who, I'm just working for the DA's office and I get my own practice.
Yeah, but even the good lawyers sometimes will do that work. You can get a good lawyer as a public defender
if you have money. Most people
a public defender would be given to you.
Yeah,
but a regular lawyer that you got to pay for. But if you can't afford a lawyer, you may get lucky and maybe you get a really good one. Or maybe you get a guy who finished last in his class.
A new laundromat named Sip and Spin Cafe and Laundry is opening in Southampton.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Offering customers the chance to enjoy coffee while doing their laundry. Can't you do that by going to the Dunkin' and going into a laundromat? Located at 15 College Highway, the Sip and Spin Cafe and Laundry will host its grand opening with a ribbon-cutting ceremony at 2 p.m. I should really go to this.
Didn't they have, I don't know if they had one of these locally. I'm trying to remember, because I know we talked about this. It was like a Suds and Duds. It was a laundromat with a full liquor license.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
You think so?
Yeah.
Dangerous for the person doing the laundry or dangerous for the laundry?
Well, honestly, I don't think it would be a place for kids to be hanging out with. Yeah, you'd have to make it like an adult oriented business, because a lot of people bring their kids along with them when they go to the laundromat to wash their clothes.
Well, you wouldn't bring them to that laundromat if there was booze being served. But if I were like a single fella and I didn't have access to laundry facilities in my apartment, for example, place like this would be a great place to go and meet other like-minded people whose drawers are also filthy.
That's true, too. You actually can filthy up your drawers while you're drinking the draft, right?
Laundry never ends, Steve.
Never ends. Anyway, the laundromat aims to provide a relaxing environment for customers by combining the convenience of laundry services with a cafe experience. That's what I said the last time I was doing laundry. Something's missing here. Maybe the smooth taste of nutmeg with a hint of pumpkin spice while I'm folding my whites.
The last time I was regularly a regular customer of laundromats, I always thought this would be so much easier if there had been a barista involved.
They'll be serving counterculture coffee, smoothies, and fresh baked treats.
Laundry smoothies. That makes so much sense.
Sip and Spin Laundry Cafe hopes to attract locals looking for a more enjoyable laundry experience. There really isn't nothing enjoyable about laundry, but I guess if you had a coffee and a cruller, I guess you'd be all right.
I guess. I mean, I think if you can enhance the laundry experience, it's a clever business idea.
Now, if you had a cannabis cafe and a laundromat,
you'd be there all day.
Yeah, nobody would ever
folded the same pair of socks.
Wow, look at the way the tie-dye came out in the laundry.
I had no idea I had so many unmatching socks.
This is crazy, man. Just watch that thing tumble around and around and around and around and around and around. I need to add another quarter. Yeah, we were jingling with change all day long.
Sure.
Yeah, you bring. How much does it cost to run a washing machine these days? Probably pretty expensive.
Probably a couple of bucks.
I haven't been to a laundromat in probably 20 years. Regularly.
Yeah.
I used to do it all the time when I lived in those the projects over in West Springfield there. Somebody referred to that as
the projects?
the home-like apartments over there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a beautiful place.
I used to drive past the Toll House and say, "Why? What if this is the place they make the cookies?"
See, this was a couple of steps up from the Toll House.
Really?
But still many steps below, like an actual condo place.
There was no condo association over there.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the people that lived over there, it was like a transitional place for people who were getting divorced. Because they were efficiency apartments. They were it was like just a room, like a great room,
Right.
which wasn't so great, a tiny little kitchen and a tiny little bathroom and maybe a little closet.
What you're describing to me, Steve, is not an efficiency apartment. That's a deficiency apartment. That's an apartment waiting to be an apartment.
I don't know. It was
It's the one that aspires to be a full-time apartment.
Dude, it was only $400 a month, everything included.
You couldn't get a closet for $400 a month anymore.
I think they're going for like $1,000 now for the same exact type of place.
Loneliness, despair, and you're out $1,000 a month.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is gonna be. It was like Milhouse's dad when he moved into Divorcee Towers on The Simpsons. You could hear all the men crying at night from all the divorcees. Oh, Helen, why? 65 for a high today, 74 for a high tomorrow. It's 41 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:53, and the Eagles of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny and 65 today. It is 41 right now in downtown Springfield.
Thursday, October 16th, the Mayflower Marathon Comedy Night at MGM at the Armory. It's going to be a great night of laughs. Comedian Tom Cotter is the headliner. You and I are going to be there along with the comedian Corey G. The tickets are on sale now at rock102.com. Every dollar we raise is going to go to the open pantry through the Mayflower Marathon. There'll also be a live auction while you're there too, so there'll be other ways to contribute. It's going to be a great night, and we'd love to see you there. The Mayflower Marathon Comedy Night brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, Aqua Pump, and Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Got another name change here of a product that you know.
What this time?
This one's been around for 133 years and will no longer be called what it's been called. A household name in the coffee industry that many have grown up with is changing its name, Maxwell House. The coffee brand that sits in many Americans' pantries is rebranding for the first time in 33 years to Maxwell Apartment.
What?
For a limited time to meet the needs of consumers in 2025. In a time where value matters more than ever, Americans seek value in areas of their everyday, including where they live, with nearly a third opting to rent versus purchasing a home. That's according to the news release on the Kraft Heinz website, the parent company. To celebrate the name change, Maxwell Apartment is offering a 12-month lease on their coffee as a way for consumers to stock up on coffee for the entire year.
Do they realize that the Maxwell House refers to Maxwell's house and not the person that bought the coffee?
I don't think so. They just released this the other day. The limited edition apartment canister was introduced on National Coffee Day, which was September 29th, and a few are still up for grabs on Amazon. The Maxwell Apartment Bundle is on sale for $39.95. The bundle includes 4 27-ounce canisters of Maxwell Apartment, which is the same Maxwell House Original Roast ground coffee you love that's just for renters. Good till the last drop coming from the ceiling.
So this is basically like a souvenir container of coffee.
Yeah.
So then once the coffee has been emptied from the container, Are you supposed to save it as a conversation piece, hoping that one day this piece of plastic might be worth something on eBay?
Oh, that's cute. When did it turn from Maxwell House to Maxwell Apartment? What about Maxwell Hostel? There's a lot more people living in those.
Listen, there have been times when I've been quite hostile when all I had to drink was a Maxwell House coffee.
Yeah, like how many people are living in a YMCA on a nightly basis? You know?
Right. Or like a sober house.
Right.
Like a halfway house.
Maxwell
Right.
halfway house.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you're almost out, but only halfway.
Only 9 drips. You're on step 9, drip 9. 12 drips.
Let me tell you about all the ways in which this coffee has disappointed me.
Yeah, who the hell is working at these marketing departments of these companies thinking, hey, you know what? Since a lot more people are renting nowadays, we should change the name of the coffee from Maxwell House to Maxwell Apartment. And some like corporate guy goes, "You're a genius. Let's do it."
Yeah, but what does that say about the corporate guy that stamps the approval on this?
That's what I'm saying.
If I'm like Mr. Maxwell and I own Maxwell House Coffee, and someone in the marketing department decides, hey, we got a great idea, we're going to change the name to Maxwell Apartment Coffee. You know what I would do as Mr. Maxwell? I would say, here's a cardboard box. You have 1 hour to clear out your desk.
Yeah.
Because we're not changing something that's been in place for 133 years.
It's kind of stupid.
It's ridiculously stupid.
I mean, if you have a brand that everybody knows for 133 years, you keep it that way. And you know what? We'll have more of this discussion coming up after 7 o'clock because there was another thing I wanted to talk about, branding of companies.
All right. It's 6:58 on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's just about 7:11. And Van Halen with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Sunny and 65 today. It's 41 right now in downtown Springfield.
You're not even a great song like Jump from Van Halen.
Yeah.
Can shake the Three's Company theme song out of my head right now.
I know.
I've been singing it for an hour.
Down in our rendezvous. Three's Company too.
I'll be singing that all damn day.
Hey, listen, man. I've been it's been singing in my head for the last month since I've been watching these Three's Company episodes.
We've also been getting on the Route 10 Tire listener line a bunch of people talking about all the many ways they got drunk at the Regal Beagle in Indian Orchard too.
Yeah, and then we heard from our regular listener. Good morning, guys. I used to watch the Three's Company. I think she meant Threes.
Yeah.
You're doing voice text. Three's Company reruns as well. And it's crazy as an adult to think about how we were putting this on TV, and as kids we laughed at the innuendos and everything. And as adults, it's pretty wild to actually think that it had all this sexually explicit jokes and things out there. But it was a great show. It was a great show.
It was a great show.
And definitely I look forward to hopefully more Three's Company segments. Yes, we will be having a weekly Three's Company update. It's kind of like people who were talking about Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
we'll do a talk about it later. Last hour we were also talking about restaurants and where they used to be, and we figured out that it was the restaurant I was thinking of on Boston Road was the Ribbery.
The Ribbery
That had moved to Indian Orchard near the Regal Beagle, which is also no longer in business. And I'm watching this video on YouTube last night because, I like to go down rabbit holes.
Sure.
I'm like Elmer Fudd, right?
Be very quiet.
And,
Steve is going down a rabbit hole.
I'm watching this YouTube video about the design, the new designs of fast food restaurants.
Okay.
You remember, like, back in the day, Burger King was distinctly a Burger King. McDonald's were distinctly McDonald's with the red roof or maybe the brown roof, but it had that, like, the awning and the roof. Everything was exactly the same. All the restaurants had the exact same design.
Right.
Kentucky Fried Chickens, things like that. IHOPs, perfect example of that. Now, when an IHOP would go out of business and another business would move in there, you knew exactly what that was before. It's that place in Westfield is the K's Sushi.
Right.
Was an IHOP restaurant. It's still got the pointy roof on it and all that stuff.
There's the one on Sumner Avenue.
Yeah.
The old IHOP is I don't even know what it is now, but it's always, it looks like an IHOP.
Right, and all of these buildings had specific designs to them, so that would be how you knew the brand.
Right.
You knew that was the McDonald's, that was the Burger King, that was the Wendy's, whatever. Now, the way they're designing the restaurants, they've taken away all of the play places from McDonald's, most of them. It's hard to find a play place in one of those.
Which is fine, to be honest.
Well, there are people that would go there to let their kids run around and hang out in the play place.
But they were always very filthy, too.
Yeah, well, what else is how many other filthy things do you go to?
For the kids.
The kids don't care. Listen, the kids will put, things in their mouths that they find on the ground.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I suppose.
Play place. Anyway, the design of these things have become so uniform-like. If you notice, like, the outside of a McDonald's now, they're very boxy. It's a very boxy look to it.
That's true.
Same with Chipotle's. Same with Kentucky Fried Chickens.
Dunkin's are the same now, too.
Yeah, they're all the same. And
Yeah.
the reason why, and this was actually really interesting, the company itself owns the land that building is on.
Mm-hmm.
And the franchisee owns the business. Now, sometimes these businesses go out of business. Like sometimes the franchisee can't keep up and a McDonald's goes out of business or a McWendy's or whatever. Now you have a building previously that was so distinct that you can't really sell it because a lot of buyers aren't interested in buying something. There's a uniqueness to that.
Sure.
So there's a lot of buyers that aren't necessarily focused on those. They want a more like generic building.
They want something that's less single use.
And that's exactly why these companies are doing that, because you don't need to do the brand recognition by design of building anymore. People know the logos. If you just put the logo on the side of the building, everybody can recognize the McDonald's arches, and everybody can recognize the Burger King Whopper with the Burger King in the middle of it and all that stuff. So there's no need for that anymore. And the play place thing, it's the reason why they don't have them anymore is because the insurance to cover having some sort of jungle gym type thing in your
case
business
of injury or whatever
is a hell of a lot more now than it used to be. So because so many people sue over, my kid knocked his teeth into the big slide.
He wasn't
or whatever.
able to finish his McNuggets because his teeth are bashed out.
I just thought that was a really interesting thing and you forget that these businesses are independently owned as far as the business goes, but they don't own the land and they don't own the building. They're leasing and renting it from the company.
Yeah. Did you see the movie The Founder?
Yes.
With Michael Keaton. I mean, it's basically that's really the whole point of the whole movie is when Ray Kroc discovers that that's really the secret.
Yeah.
To franchise fast food restaurants is the land, the real estate involved, not about whether you can sell a hamburger at the time 15 cents. That's not where the money was. The money was in the real estate.
Right.
And that's how he was able to get the McDonald brothers out of business and everything else.
Yeah.
A few years ago, Junior Bridgman, who used to play in the NBA, had a good NBA career. Once he retired, he started buying up all these Wendy's franchises. And the guy made a fortune on Wendy's. And died filthy, stinking rich. Wound up giving away all his good deal of money to charity. Really amazing story about Junior Bridgman. But it's like you wonder, well, if he were going to do that today, what would be the cost to a guy who wanted to get involved in franchising restaurants with what you're saying? Like how more difficult would it be to buy into a franchise like that? With the real estate being what it is, it's got to be hard. It's got to be wicked expensive.
Some lady points out Chicopee McDonald's on Memorial Drive still has a play area. Yes, but they're becoming less and less popular. And then when they redesign these restaurants, they get rid of the whole thing altogether. There used to be one in Westfield, and that's gone. That's been gone for a few years now.
Based on what you're talking about with the insurance issues, I would remove it too.
But sometimes the company itself doesn't really care how well the restaurant is performing because they know at the end of the day, hey, if we need to sell this place, somebody's going to buy this land. And now we have this generic building on it, so it's more attractive to other people to move in here.
Yeah. Kentucky Fried Chicken never did that. They never had a playscape area at a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I always assume because of all the grease on your hands, you just like slip off the bars.
That's the 11 herbs and spices that
Yeah, but even just like the oil, it makes everything
it's greasy,
so slippery.
greasy chicken. You don't see a place at a Chipotle either.
No, that's because the most amount of fun you have is in the restroom after you've had the Chipotle.
But you think about like different franchises. Like there's good ones and there's bad ones. We all know, like anybody who's been to a fast food restaurant in the area knows that. Well, this McDonald's is better than this McDonald's because I don't know why. If it's the management or is it the people that like care less? I mean, you obviously listen. There's good Dunkin' Donuts and there's bad Dunkin' Donuts.
It's like anything else.
I could label half a dozen bad ones and I can label you half a dozen decent ones that I would go to. Those are the preferred ones to go to. But I
don't know why that is. I mean, you could say, well, there's good Cracker Barrels and bad Cracker Barrels.
No, they're all bad. They're all bad.
There are some Friendlies with great service and some Friendlies with terrible service.
They're all terrible service. All of them. Some things need to keep consistency for their reputation. Cracker Barrel and Friendlies and Applebee's are three of those restaurants that keep up with the consistency.
That's doing it old-timey kind of way.
Yeah, but I just thought it was really really interesting now how they're designing these places so they're more generic. So that way, when the place folds up, you're not going to be able to say the example the guy was using was like you can go, oh, that vape shop, that vape shop that used to be a Pizza Hut, or that vape shop that used to, he's talking about, but now he's like, now it's just a vape shop.
Right.
Because you can't, I think it might have been a McDonald's once.
Well, at least if you got a generic piece of property, I mean, it has to be, you're right. I mean, it has to be much easier to sell than something that, looks like an old Papa Gino's used to be there years ago.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I went to Burger King a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because we were coming home late from a game, and it was like almost 9 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, we'll just get something. It was like $50 for
3 people.
3 people.
$50
for not much of anything.
Well, I mean, that's.
Well, how do you like? Where's the breaking point? Where is the breaking point where people are just like, that's enough for me to go, I'm not going back there again. Because $50 is ridiculous for that kind of food. I'd rather pay $50 at a local business.
Yeah. Well, do you remember when, a few years ago, when all these upper scale burger joints were, popping up all over the place? Lux Burger, Plan B, Max Burger, all these things. You had all these people say, "Oh, I'll be damned if I'm going to spend $12 on a hamburger. I'm going to McDonald's instead." Well, guess how much a hamburger costs at McDonald's?
Yeah,
$12.
Yeah. But that's because inflation. That's because of all these other things. But it's like
meanwhile, Ray Kroc was selling them for 15 cents.
But it kind of makes you wonder, how much is inflation really affecting those prices versus how much greed is coming out of a corporation?
Well,
because if everybody's doing it, then you have a justification to charge more money.
I think it's a combination of all of it. I think it's a combination of the fact there is competition, the cost of meat and food and labor and insurance and all that's all gone up. So is it purely greed?
I bet you there's a good portion of it.
I would say it is a portion of it, no doubt about it. But I would also say there's a lot more that goes into it than just simply labeling it as greed. Everything has gotten expensive. Even just the transportation of the food items you're selling at that restaurant. Yeah. Just that alone, the cost has gone up. Well, fuel costs, and, cost of the vehicle, all that stuff is elevated.
So we're moving from this building. We're going to be moving soon in a couple of months. We're going to be moving to a big bougie office building.
Right.
From this crap hole. This will become an Applebee's.
This is not just a single-use building. This is like should not be any use
You're
building.
right. So at least you can repurpose it.
I would knock it down.
Cheeseburger egg rolls, anybody?
You know what? That's exactly what East Longmeadow needs.
Is it Applebee's?
Is it Applebee's?
Yeah.
It's 7:23 on Rock 102.
GG Inc.'s screen.
It's 7:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
This week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest has been producer Phil Galoni, whose band Waverly Drive just released their debut album called Decadence about a week and a half ago. It's a really interesting story about a guy who's been making music for a lot of other people, made some of his own music, but really is focused on it, and it's actually quite good. Next week, this is a really interesting interview with a guy named Greg Langston. He is a drummer that has been around for years, but the story is about a band called the Sea Hags. Back in the late 80s, after Guns N' Roses sold 18 million copies of that first album, every record company and radio station in America was looking for the next Guns N' Roses. There were a handful of bands that were being touted as the potential next big band. His band, the Sea Hags, was one of those bands. And unfortunately, things started to fall apart just as they were making their first album. The story is absolutely amazing about a band that almost was as big or could have been as big as Guns N' Roses. And we talk about that. That'll be available on Monday on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, as well as the app. It's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
All right. That sounds like a humdinger.
Actually, it's really interesting because this guy was like fired like from the band right before they were going to start recording their first album, and the band fell apart almost immediately.
That's kind of a crappy way.
It's a crappy, horrible story of a record company that completely screwed a band over. But it's fascinating.
How many more stories are like that out there? A record company screwing bands over.
Over 100 billion stories just like it.
I'm still waiting for the ones that screwed Hanson.
Hanson had their day.
Yeah.
They just were never able to capitalize on magic.
They could have.
Oh, sure they could have.
have been better than they were.
I mean, you sprout one body hair and it all goes to hell in a handbasket.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, as soon as your voice changes, that's the end of the line for you.
We got news next to Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass.
7:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. East Hampton police are investigating a crash involving a bicyclist. Emergency responders were called to Union Street Tuesday afternoon after reports that an adult was hit in a crosswalk. The driver stayed on scene and cooperated. The extent of the victim's injuries has not been disclosed, but police say he was conscious and alert, and the accident remains under investigation. Authorities working to crack down on illegal drug activity at parks throughout the city of Holyoke have arrested a Northampton man at Gramps Park on multiple drug charges. Again at Gramps Park?
What's going on over there? Seems like it's a nice, homey place to hang out.
This is according to the Holyoke Police Department, which reports they were doing a property check at the park when they first spotted the suspect Tuesday
afternoon.
At around 2:20 p.m. on Tuesday, September 30th, Holyoke Police Sergeant John Veet conducted a property check at Gramps Park, which is adjacent to Elm Street. As Sergeant Veet entered the park, he approached the subject, later identified as Luis Manuel Perez. Manuel Perez was holding a crack pipe and 2 vials of suspected cocaine. You know, those clues might seem to insinuate that these two things are, connected.
Elementary, my dear Nagle. That sounds to me like they are exactly what they are. Clues.
Western Mass
Blues
News.
Clues could have figured this out.
Western Mass News told those weren't the only illegal drugs they found. Officers also recovered an additional 35 vials of crack cocaine, suspected crack cocaine, 17 bags of suspected fentanyl, and Manuel Perez, who's 39 years old, is facing multiple drug charges, including, possession and yada, yada, yada. Police report this is part of the Chief's Park Engagement Initiative. It sounds like you're just throwing a net out and just grabbing...
Well, maybe that's all they really need to do.
Is just throw the net out?
Yeah, well, that's it. Grab the low-hanging fruit first and then really go after them.
Yeah. Confusion is surrounding a yield sign in a busy roundabout in Agawam. Right where you would get off the South End Bridge on Route 57 is a typical rotary. To enter, you have to yield to other drivers. If you look at the video that Western Mass News took, you can see a tiny stop sign that had been slapped right in the middle of the triangle, confusing drivers. There were actually 2 yield signs with stop signs off this exit, one on each side of the road. Drivers said that the one that was left barely noticeable, seeing as the other color blends right into the color of the yield sign. On top of the sign itself is shaped like a triangle rather than an octagon. The sign is on the right is a little more prominent, but the overall shape of the sign was also a triangle. What's really concerning for drivers is that people are so used to yielding at that exit. If they even realize there are stop signs there now, they may stop short, which can cause an accident.
Stop short. That's my move.
They reached out to the Agawam Department of Public Works to find out why these stop signs are up, and they returned with this statement. The Rotary project is a Mass DOT project, so the Agawam DPW doesn't have any information on the signage. Don't they talk to each other?
No, they don't.
At all?
No, it's like a secret society.
When they reached out to the Mass Department of Transportation, the problem was they didn't know what those stop signs were for either. Those stop signs were not installed by Mass DOT or our contractors.
So it's all a big mystery.
It's some a-hole saying, hey, these people are not yielding. I'm going to put up my own stop sign on the yield sign. That'll get them. Neither the town nor the state knew why the stop signs appeared, but Western Mass News has called made a difference. After they reached out to Mass DOT, the stop signs have been known to be taken down. Much like we talked about 22 News using AI to format their stories, that's no longer on their website anymore.
Well, I'll be damned. So they actually made things happen.
Can you believe it?
They got answers, and then there were solutions.
Speaking of stop signs, every morning I have the same little routine. I come down 91.
Yeah.
And I get off by the Belize Ready Credit place.
Sure.
Right there at the, exit 3?
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn, and then you go up by Antonio's.
Yeah.
I don't know what whatever that street is. It's not Long Hill Street. You turn onto Long Hill Street, but then you take a left onto whatever that is.
Leet Street?
Something like that. And when you get to the end of that, then you take a right.
Yep.
And then you take another left.
Yep.
I don't know what street that is,
but
they just put stop signs in there, like, within the last month.
Well, why don't you just take the exit to Sumner?
Huh?
Why don't you just take the exit that takes you over to Sumner?
No, because it's easier to go there to going the long way around. I'm taking the shortcut through the city. I guess you could do that, too. That's a little bit longer way around.
Anyway.
But I zigzag through the neighborhoods there.
Sure.
But now on that one street, again, I don't know what the name of it is, but I eventually turn onto Forest Avenue or Forest Street.
Forest Park Avenue?
No, just Forest.
Forest Avenue.
Forest Park, Forest.
Gotcha.
But on that street leading up to Forest, there's like a church there and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's now 2 stop signs. Unless they were always there and I never noticed them, but I noticed them the other day when I was like, whoa, stop.
And you've been taking this similar route for the last 20 years?
Well, not 20 years, but long enough to know that there was no stop signs there. And now they're all of a sudden just appeared. And you'd think there'd be like a little bit of a warning, like, hey, we just installed new stop signs here, or flashing red or something. What's going on with that?
I don't know, but but isn't it crazy when something happens that you don't expect and suddenly it's there? You know, like those speed bumps they put on, like in Longmeadow?
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was launching off those things like Evel Knievel going over the Snake River Canyon
because you weren't expecting.
Wasn't expecting it, and I floor it because I want to get over there, as fast as I can, and make the light. But then all of a sudden, I'm catching some air, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're like the Bo and Luke Duke.
That's
going
it.
Going over the speed hump.
That's right. It was them Dukes. It was them Duke boys.
That's when they do that traffic pattern change. This isn't a pattern change. This is just adding a couple of stop signs, which I guess it would be modifying the traffic pattern, right?
Sure.
They did that in Westfield years ago at that, whatever that is by the pike there. It's not quite a rotary, but it's like a U-turn type of thing at the intersection. And when you came from, to get onto the pike, you'd have to go through that little, you still have to do that. To get on the pike, you can't take a left onto the pike. You got to go through
all the way around that thing.
That little U-turn thing. Well, at the end of the U-turn thing, it had always been, you could just go right through. And the traffic coming from the industrial park in the back would have to stop.
Right.
And then for a short time, they changed that, and they put a stop sign there. And it was confusing the hell out of everybody because if you're so used to doing something, you're not you. And if you're in that yield area, people are beeping at you to get the hell out of the way because they're like, what are you stopping for? There's no stop sign there.
Right.
Well, then all of a sudden there was, and it was confusing the hell out of people. And there was people running the stop sign. There was people who were stopping, and then people were getting mad and
probably
all that
accidents.
stuff. And then they went back to the old way. They took the stop sign out because they're like, well, I guess it's better this way.
You know, they actually do have engineers. But this is all they do. Try to figure out, the best way to modify the flow of traffic.
Right.
So that things move, easier. Like there's a whole bunch of engineers that just deal with rotaries, all over the state. This is what they look at an intersection and say, okay, well, let's do the rotary this way. That's what they do. But like in any job, you got to believe occasionally somebody not on the ball, not doing what they need to do, and then you have something like that. Someone says, man, a stop sign sure would make a lot of sense here unless you're driving it through it every single day. And that's the thing that they don't, it's hard for an engineer who may be located in Boston know anything about the traffic flow in Westfield.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know. There was a guy from Western Mass. Hey, you know what? Where's the new DOT guy from? He's from Westfield. Ooh.
That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be a real big problem. Animal control officers in Torrington, Connecticut are asking for help finding the owner of a dog left tied to a picnic table. Torrington Animal Control says the dog was tied to a picnic table by a retractable leash. The dog was found along a walking trail behind John Toro Field, past the dog park and the Rainbow Bridge. They actually have a
Rainbow Bridge?
That's kind of weird.
That makes you think.
If you recognize the dog or know who owns the dog on the Channel 3 website, you can go look it up. I'm trying to think. The Torrington community came together to build an over-the-rainbow bridge for animal lovers.
Really?
Yeah. The concept.
Couldn't they have named it something else?
The concept is that pets who have passed away are waiting beyond the Rainbow Bridge for their owners, but until then, owners can visit their pets over the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
This was going back to last year. This woman was inspired by a trail in Lake Lure, North Carolina. She said, I met someone here who lost their dog the day before, and their kids surprised them and brought them here, and they just hugged and kissed, cried in my arms. She recently lost her dog. This is last year. She created the Over the Rainbow Bridge to honor her dog. That's, you're going to take your dog for a walk.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, buddy, do you want to go to the Rainbow Bridge? Huh? Who wants to go for a walk to the Rainbow Bridge? And the dog's like, what?
What are you out of your mind? I'm not walking over that bridge.
Sick.
I've heard stories about what's on the other side of that bridge.
You are absolutely sick.
I was your best friend up until this very second.
I'm not ready to meet my name backwards.
Yes. Yeah.
A man was arrested for engaging in lewd behavior at a store in East Haven on Tuesday. Police say they responded to the Hobby Lobby location on each frontage. Listen, if you're going to play with yourself, the Hobby Lobby is the place to do it.
Yeah, but then it becomes the Sloppy Lobby.
Yeah, Sloppy Lobby. Is that where Dobby brings you the sock? The Hobby Lobby Dobby sock. Oh my God, the last time I had a Hobby Lobby Dobby sock. Witnesses said the man, identified as 34-year-old Dylan DeRosa, was following women around the store while appearing to pleasure himself underneath his clothing. He was arrested at his job in the same plaza and charged with second-degree breach of peace. He's being held on $75,000 bond. It was later found that DeRosa was a registered sex offender, currently on parole and under supervision. Not that much supervision.
No, not at all.
He's also being held on a parole remand. It should be noted that we are deeply disturbed by the behavior in this case, said the police. Women should never have the fear of being followed or subjected to predatory conduct while simply shopping in the store. No one should ever feel unsafe in the community, which I agree with, but...
But he was caught red-handed.
Hey, listen, the worst thing I've done in a Hobby Lobby is spell penis with those letters that they have hanging on the shelf.
Oh, everybody does that.
Do they?
Well, maybe not penis, but there's other words to spell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We should make that a challenge. Show me in whatever store you're in that has those letters that you can spell something out with.
Right.
Yeah. I got my kids doing it now, which is great. It's like an old pastime. We walk into those craft stores and we're like, come on, let's spell a dirty word over here.
That's great.
Come on, kids.
You know what? That's what being a good dad's all about. Teaching kids how to spell dirty words and have them out there in public display for all society to see.
You know what?
Fun stuff.
There could be a lot worse outcomes to parenting.
No doubt about that.
You know what? At least my kids have a sense of humor.
And a great vocabulary.
Ooh, look, you spelled wee-wee with the letters. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, going to be sunny with a high of 65. Tomorrow, mix of sun and clouds with a high of 74. It is 41 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Aw, yeah.
Pro Contractors.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Okay, all right. You know, there's no need to panic. It's a 3-game series. These things are bound to happen. As I'm sure you may already know, the Red Sox lost Game 2 last night of this best-of-3-game wild card series with the Yankees. And while many people will tell you, yeah, but it was a great game, I was already focused on Game 3 just 28 pitches into last night's game. Why so soon? Well, perhaps it might have had something to do with the Red Sox pitcher Brian Bayo being taken out of the game and putting the game at risk with not a disastrous performance, but certainly not a very good one, especially after allowing 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, including a home run. It just wasn't Brian's night. So much so that I was able to correctly predict that this one wasn't going to go the right way. So by the time Jazz Chisholm Jr. scored from first base in the 8th inning to give the Yankees their 4-3 lead, I was pretty much done for the night. And so would the Red Sox, for that matter. So what happens now? Well, tonight the Red Sox have put 23-year-old rookie left-hander Conley Early on the mound to save the entire season. Granted, Conley has only been on the roster for about 30 days, but I like to think that this young man is a cold-blooded strikeout machine just 4 games into his entire professional career in the majors. Hey, did I ever tell you how much I hate when a playoff series goes to a 7th and deciding game? Well, imagine how uncomfortable I feel when a playoff series is 42% shorter. It essentially gives you no room for fooling around when you're all tied up at a game apiece, especially since the Yankees are also in a must-win situation, too. That's why they'll be starting 24-year-old rookie Cam Schlitter, who, if I should point out, is a native of Walpole, Massachusetts. So, here's hoping that kid who grew up just 27 miles south of Boston is a bigger Red Sox fan than he is of his own employer. Because right now, that's the only thing that's giving me any level of comfort whatsoever. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Nate at the Westfield Rockies. A steel-trained outdoor power technician, silver certified and all that stuff. In fact, he's got outdoor power certifications coming out every which way. Get intelligent outdoor power advice from guys like Nate in Westfield. Good people, rock-solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:10 in Hart with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be sunny with a high of 65 today, 42 right now in downtown Springfield.
You know, I love it when you get a chance to talk to Scott Zolak after a blowout win by the Patriots, only to see them walk into Buffalo the following week. He's on the phone right now, brought to you by Window World of Western Mass. It's Scott Zolak. How you doing, Scott?
What are you going to do out west if we pop these guys?
Well, I mean, okay, but honestly, the Bills are undefeated. They're playing great football. Yeah. They don't lose at home. I mean, I know everyone's feeling pretty good about the Patriots right now after Carolina, but I mean, it's Buffalo. I mean, when you're walking in there and when you're a team, you know you're going to be favored by any stretch of the imagination. How do you go into this?
I'm actually shedding a tear because this is the last time I'll ever call a football game in that stadium because they're building a new one next door and they're going to open it next year.
Yeah, right. So that'll be a real heartbreaking goodbye, I would imagine.
Yeah, get out of that dump. But, really, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the game. We've played good football, not perfect football. 5 turnovers against the Steelers. You're not going to beat anybody. Look at what the Saints did a week ago. They went up to Buffalo and were competitive through 4 quarters. If we can hang to the beginning of that fourth, I think we have more players than the Saints to maybe make a play and try and win that football game. We're going up there to win. I know that.
There's a Mass Live had an interesting article this morning, and actually yesterday afternoon, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but I suppose it's actually true, and they're basically saying that Drake May is already ahead of Josh Allen in development. If you compare him to what Josh Allen was in his second season, that Drake May is really kind of coming into his own, or appears to be coming into his own. I mean, you're a former quarterback. I mean, what's your assessment of what he's done so far this season?
I think it's the most frustrating thing to do is to compare quarterbacks to other quarterbacks because they're all unique in their own way, really. I mean, they are. Height-wise, size-wise, speed, arm, the mental part of the game. The funny part is, if you look at the exact stats and numbers, they're almost identical through 4 games with Drake May and with Josh Allen. So I think that's why it's coming out. Plus, he was real sloppy in his first year, didn't win a lot of games. I thought he was going to be a bust, and then Brian Daboll got a hold of him, meaning Josh Allen, and fixed him. And guy's an MVP candidate every year now. He's a unicorn.
Oh, yeah. I see. I kind of feel that way too. It's because there's so many different aspects of every position in football, and the success or failure of a quarterback depends on so many factors. I mean, you got to worry about your offensive line. You got to worry about your receivers, your running back. Every part of that offense has something to do with the success or failure of a quarterback. And Josh Allen happens to be on a great team surrounded with lots of weapons. So to me, it's I agree with you. It's a very hard comparison to make. But you look at Drake May and what he's doing slowly every week. He's putting together a less and less mistake-prone performance. I mean, I thought he was great against Carolina. I thought anyone who watched that game who didn't feel good about Drake May obviously wasn't paying attention to the game.
He was in total control of the game. And the nice thing about Drake, and I've called 17 games of his. That's an actual total season if we count the 2 seasons together. He's gotten a little better at certain things each game to each game. He doesn't make the same mistake twice, which is nice. And that's part of growth. He will screw some things up, but it's not going to be perfect. But there will be a time where he gets in that zone. And we say get in that zone, it's like, man, you can't stop it. Sort of like last week, 14-17. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, as I'm watching the game last week, 42-13, it's a blowout win. And part of me is saying, well, is it because the Patriots have gotten so good? Or is it because the Carolina Panthers are just that bad? And I don't know what the right answer is, or even if it makes a difference. But that's a huge win for the Patriots this last week.
I think it's 2. I think we're pretty good. I think they're awful.
Yeah.
So you combine those. I mean, they beat Atlanta 30-0 the week before. How bad's Atlanta?
I know. It's crazy.
Well, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Totally.
All right. See, this weekend, you got a night game in Buffalo, high stakes, emotional crowd. How do you manage tempo and prevent false starts or miscommunications in that environment?
Oh, who, me?
Anybody.
Oh, I take like 5 naps.
Yeah.
It's concentration. It's talking in your meetings. When you go on the field and you're the defense, if it's 3rd down and it's 3rd and 1, watch the hard count. Watch the hard count. There's got to be leaders on that team yelling it, coaches yelling it. It's not just one guy. It's not just one meeting. It's a total awareness, and it's just you got to know where you're in the game at that time. And veterans know it.
With the Patriots being 2-2 right now, and with them going into Buffalo, you've played there. You've already talked about how you can't stand the place, and I can totally understand why that is. How much does that obnoxious crowd play into any part of this? I mean, when a team goes in there, and every team that has lost, the crowd in Buffalo games is notoriously obnoxious. Does that have any?
Well, you let them get going. That's the thing. Like when we were good and we had Brady, we paced them up there and take the crowd out of it. It's these last couple of years where it gets really loud. You can't hear.
But
they're having a good time,
right? But as a player on the field, do you let that affect you, or do you just try to do the best to zone yourself out of it?
The best you can.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's going through it. Yeah. Don't talk about it. You make a big deal out of it now. The young kids will panic.
All right, serious question. Now, the Pats O-line has to block Buffalo's front seven. Should they carb load with Olive Garden breadsticks, or is this more of a Red Bull and prayer kind of assignment?
No, I'd go raw onions because it brings out the worst gas, and then you just let them rip.
Oh yeah,
that is a way to do it.
Evacuate them from the field that way. I like it. I like that.
Exactly.
Ramondre Stevenson didn't drop a ball last week. That's a big improvement.
Yeah, no, he's in a tough spot too. He's a good kid, good player. I can't believe he's dropped 9 since the beginning of last year. Like that's a pattern.
I mean, was there something that was improved upon over the week? Was he being coached to hold on to the ball a little bit better? I mean, when a kid is dropping a ball like that, I mean, is that a coachable thing to fix, or is it really?
Oh yeah, you got to talk about it. Like running backs yell at, "Hey, ball security today." Assistant coaches, running back coaches, head coach, write it on the board, write it in the locker. Oh yeah, it's right there in front of you everywhere.
Yeah. Diggs played a great game too. So, I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, he's coming on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's great to see because I mean, last year everyone's complaining, well, he's got no one to throw to. Hey, you know what? Diggs is a great option every time, as long as he's not double covered or whatever.
That's right.
If
out of the boat, right?
If Marcus Jones returns another punt for a touchdown in Buffalo, do you think the Bills Mafia will let him slam a folding table, or do they reserve that for divorces and family barbecues?
Give me that again. I'm sorry, I missed that question.
If Marcus Jones returns... You got your GPS going off there. If Marcus Jones returns another punt for a touchdown in Buffalo, do you think the Bills Mafia will let him slam a folding table, or do they reserve that for divorces and family barbecues? That's a listener question.
I'd go with the divorces. That's
I would think so,
I would
too.
think so, too.
Buffalo ain't going to let you do that.
You got to have your lawyer on speed dial for something like that.
Oh, yeah, you're not kidding.
After we get past Buffalo, you look at the upcoming games here: Saints, Titans, Browns, Falcons. I mean, thank God this schedule is as favorable as it can be. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to play the Bills twice in every divisional rival. I can't wait till we start facing the Jets again. I can't wait to face the Dolphins again. Those two teams are absolutely a mess.
I'm serious. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting coffee. Outside of Buffalo.
Are you kidding me? He's off.
He was getting coffee. That's important stuff.
He's getting coffee?
Yeah.
What is this, the ride-along show with Scott Zolak?
Well, that's okay. I mean, listen, we can't do that. I couldn't do the show without coffee.
Let's just stop the broadcast in the middle of the interview so he can get his Dunkin' run. What had just happened here?
I don't know. Listen, it's coffee. It's coffee time.
This is his time. He's getting paid for his time. He's paid for him to come here to talk to us about the Patriots.
And it's brought to you by Window World of Western Massachusetts.
Money well spent.
Absolutely. It's 8:20 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:26 and the Stones of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam will have the full forecast for you.
Rock 102's Pro Picks Pool is underway at rock102.com. It's your call football. Weekly winners get a $50 gift certificate to Vanish Valley Brewing. And the overall season winner gets a $500 cash card courtesy of Nor'easter Organic Life Hydroponics. Check the stats or go with your gut. Go to rock102.com and play Rock 102's Pro Picks Pool from Nor'easter Organic Life Hydroponics and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Still waiting for Zolak to come back with that Dunkin' run.
Didn't even ask us if we wanted it.
What was that? I buy, you fly. Isn't that how the whole saying goes? Yeah. And here he is ordering a coffee, and then he cuts us off because he doesn't want us to know that he's ordering anything because he can't bring us anything. I could have enjoyed a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant this morning.
Sure, I wouldn't mind a medium hot cream only. By the way, don't bring any here. You don't have to do that
unless it's something good.
It'll be delicious no matter what. Anyhow, so in a Pro Picks pool, go and play. Maybe you'll be a big winner.
Maybe. What else is going on? Busy weekend. I will be attending a Taylor Swift movie showing on Sunday.
Like the movie that was already released?
New movie.
There's a new movie?
There's a new movie. Life of a Showgirl.
Oh, yeah. That's coming up in it.
I have tickets for Sunday morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
You are
I'm
something else.
Listen, I don't miss an opportunity when Taylor Swift presents one.
I understand, Steve.
Unless
I
it's
get
$1,500 for a concert ticket.
Did you pre-order the album?
No, I didn't pre-order the album. I pre-ordered the tickets, though. So I'll be Sunday morning brunch at the movie theater with popcorn and a hot dog.
Wow, that is good. You bringing the kids?
No. Why would I do that? They can buy their own tickets.
There's absolutely nothing crazy about a man in his mid-40s going to a Taylor Swift movie alone.
A grown man with a popcorn bucket and a hole in the bottom of it at a Taylor Swift movie.
Don't get all that butter on your friendship bracelet.
You don't think there's other Swifty moms out there? Single Swifty moms that are, willing to reach into the popcorn bucket?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there are. Because, again, a man sitting alone in his mid-40s.
Yeah.
A Taylor Swift film doesn't seem creepy at all.
What's this weird thing at the bottom of the popcorn bucket? Why does it feel like a nozzle to an enema bag?
Feels like a soft acorn or something. I don't know what the hell that is.
Weird.
What is that?
Weird.
It's 8:29 Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass News.
With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Kluwitz Appliances. Save big on all appliances every day at Kluwitz. There's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
I don't see a Duncan in my hand from Scott Zolak.
Well, he's
what's going on
away.
with that, huh?
It's all right.
No, not all right. Hey, you cut off an interview like that. Ordering coffee. Do you not set aside the time that you are expected to be somewhere by multitasking and getting coffee for yourself?
Well, I mean, I usually make my own coffee, bring it in, and make it the night before. That's usually what I do, but that's me. Yeah, it's just me.
You make the coffee the night before?
Yeah, when I wake up, I never figured out how to program the damn thing. So when I wake up in the morning,
it's fresh in the morning.
Oh, it's not been sitting there for like 9 hours.
I'm brewing this at 7 p.m. It'll be ready at 3 when I wake up.
Yeah, it's a very slow drip.
Good to the last drop, right?
Yes.
A suspect has been arrested and charged in connection with a deadly stabbing on Main Street in Springfield. Police spokesman Ryan Wall stated on Monday at approximately 10:35 p.m. Officers were sent to the 2800 block of Main Street for a report of a stabbing. When crews arrived, they found a man suffering from a stab wound. That man was taken to Bay State Medical Center where he died due to his injuries. Detectives received information about a possible suspect, later identified as 36-year-old Hector Lopez of Springfield. He was located in the area of the 2600 block of Main Street and arrested on an outstanding warrant. During the investigation, detectives requested that Lopez be charged with murder on Tuesday. He was arraigned on the following charges in Springfield District Court: murder, arrest warrants for unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle, and miscellaneous motor vehicle equipment violations. Those are the ones that are going to stick, though.
Probably, yes.
The victim's identity has not been released to the public due to pending notification of family members. So, what's this thing? Dozens of nurses looking to protect themselves from surgical smoke that can cause respiratory illnesses like asthma and emphysema gathered at Beacon Hill Tuesday to promote legislation that would mandate the use of preventative equipment in operating rooms. Senator Joe Comerford's bill requires smoke evacuation systems in hospital and ambulatory surgical centers for procedures that generate smoke. That they're quartering something, I guess?
I don't know. I mean, do surgeons usually smoke during surgeries?
I don't know. What kind? Camels? Lucky Strikes?
Where do you put the ashtray?
Oh, right in the patient's mouth. They're wide open while they're under the surgery.
I mean, I suppose if you got like a resecting bowel or something like that, you just want to sit back and enjoy a good smoke.
Oh, you can walk a mile for a camel. You know, they used to have the commercials where doctors were promoting cigarettes.
Yes, this is
this
the healthy cigarette.
4 out of 5 doctors recommend Lucky Strikes.
The sick part about it is that's absolutely true.
Yeah. The legislation is a priority for members of the American Nurse Association of Massachusetts, which says nurses are exposed to carcinogens and other hazardous chemicals from surgical smoke that's emitted while cauterizing or dissecting patients' tissue in an operating room. Yeah, like
but isn't everybody in
vasectomies?
Well, yeah.
That's blew off a lot of smoke. I may have given up cigarettes, but I didn't give up smoking.
Isn't everybody wearing a mask, though? Isn't everybody kind of protected with a surgical mask?
I don't know if that particularly stops the smoke from coming into your face.
I don't know.
Isn't the surgical mask more to protect the patient from, you?
Well, but I think it's also to protect the medical personnel from, say, fluids or what have yous.
You
got someone who's very ill on the surgical table, and you're opening up to do God knows what. You got to protect yourself from flying fluids and tissues.
What the hell's going on that surgical table?
You don't want to know.
You wake up and you're like, smell your clothes, and you're like, smells like an ashtray. I smell like an Elks Club bar. When they used to smoke in them.
Yeah, right.
They don't do that anymore. A lot of places have banned smoking.
Have you noticed? I don't know if you, like a Netflix, for example. Before every show they'll have like a warning. Violence, nudity, coarse language. But one of the ones they've also added now is smoking.
Yeah.
Like, is anyone going to be all that jacked up because someone's smoking on TV?
Yeah, somebody got. It's become one of these taboo things now.
Yeah, I won't watch TV shows in which people are smoking. I'd much rather see nudity and violence. That I can handle.
You ever see that in a disclaimer for an adult movie? It may contain sexual content and smoking. Really?
Usually smoking after the sexual content.
I didn't know Debbie Does Dallas had smoking in it. That's preposterous.
Doesn't she realize that after having sex with 35 men on camera that cigarettes are dangerous?
Yeah.
That's potentially not healthy.
Authorities working to crack down on illegal drug activity at parks throughout the city of Holyoke have arrested a Northampton man at Gramps Park on multiple drug charges. This place is like a hotbed for drugs.
I guess so.
I guess I know. Thanks for the leads.
Would Gramps be happy to know this?
You damn kids. Back in my day, we used to just smoke the crack right out in the public. Now you got to hide it from the cops.
Just want to go to a park where I can mind my business.
I just want to carry my fentanyl packets on my own person.
Back in my day, we did drugs the right way.
This is according
to the comfort of our own home and in schoolyards.
They were doing a property check at the park when they first spotted the suspect on Tuesday afternoon. At around 12:20 p.m., Holyoke Sergeant John Veet conducted a property check at Gramps Park, which is adjacent to Elm Street. As Sergeant Veet entered the park, he approached the subject, later identified as Luis Manuel Perez. Manuel Perez was holding a crack pipe and 2 vials of suspected crack cocaine.
I'm sure it was planted.
Well, to you, it looks like a crack pipe. It's actually a vase.
It's a bud vase.
I'm rock collecting. I'm going to the Rock and Mineral Show next week at the Big E. This is what Gramps Park is all about. It's finding little keepsakes like that all around the park. Look at this little rock. This is cute.
These are not drug paraphernalia. These are mementos from a previous time.
This is not my beautiful drugs.
My God, what have I done?
This is not my beautiful pipe. How did I get here? Let's see. Here's a crazy lady from Kentucky. Kentucky woman. She get to know you. A Kentucky woman is accused of damaging a Little Caesars restaurant after she learned extra sauce was not free. Louisville police say Brianna Haynes was arrested last week for criminal mischief, but the incident happened back in January of this year at the Little Caesars on 22nd Street in Louisville. Police said, you know where that one is. Said
it's between 21st and 24th.
23rd. Can I have a tissue, please? Can I have
I don't have any over here.
Where's that?
Right over there. Yeah. There you go.
This is the dangers of doing this job.
Okay. Oh, that's a good blow, Steve. That's a good one. One more time. One more just to be safe.
I think we got it this time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway, police say Haynes called in an order, and when she came to pick it up, she asked for extra sauce. The worker explained it was $1, and the police say that's when Haynes lost it. Surveillance video reportedly shows her knocking items off the counter, including the computer register. She allegedly caused more than $1,000 in damages.
Wow, she must have really gone off
for an extra $1.
I mean, honestly, $1 these days isn't really all that much. But when you go to a Little Caesars and you order the pizza, don't you expect the sauce too?
You would think so. You don't get both of those.
That's a curious business model.
A dog in southeast Texas is still looking for her forever home after spending 400 days in a shelter. The Humane Society of Southeast Texas is trying to find Dolly a family. On Tuesday, Dolly hit her 400th day at the shelter. Before coming to the Humane Society, Dolly spent a full year in another shelter. She's only 4 years old, meaning at least half her life is spent behind kennel doors. The Humane Society say they don't understand why Dolly hasn't been adopted yet. She's sweet, she's gentle, and she's ready for a real home where she can be the one cuddling on the couch instead of a kennel. She has an eye for fashion and loves playing dress-up. She's just as happy on a walk as she is lounging around the house, the shelter wrote in a Facebook post. Sadly, Dolly had a couple of adoption appointments that ended up being no-shows. They're pointing out this particular dog because the dog loves to dress up in sweaters and dresses.
That sounds adorable. Who wouldn't want that dog for their very own?
I don't think the dog really enjoys that.
You don't know.
You ever try to put a sweater on a pit bull?
Sure.
Ain't going to happen.
I've got
a turtleneck.
I actually put a cardigan on my dog and a smoking jacket.
No, you didn't.
I certainly did. I've got pictures.
How long did that last before the dog was like, all right, enough for your social media clout?
1.4 seconds. But nevertheless, I was able to get it on before snapping these candids.
I can't even keep, I tried to put a party hat on my dog. He wound up eating it.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like being dressed up. If I was an animal and I was naked all the time,
I'd want something.
No.
I would. I wouldn't want to be naked all day long. I realize I'm wearing a coat, but still.
They have fur. It keeps them warm.
Yeah, but your business is hanging out all there and all that other stuff. A little humility, please.
Well, I mean, humility. You're embarrassing the dog by dressing him up in a dress.
I don't know. Sometimes I think a dog likes that stuff.
I'm just randomly throwing out stories here.
It's quite all right, Steve. No one's expecting very much since you almost threw up today.
Do you believe in any pregnancy myths? I got a buddy who's into this.
You ever hear about that lady that sang on Give Me Shelter?
You don't want to know what happened to her. If you have heartburn, your baby will be born with a lot of hair.
I've heard that, but I think that's an old wives' tale.
And spicy foods induce labor.
I don't know if that's true.
They're some of the top myths that Americans believe when it comes to pregnancy. That's according to a survey of 2,000 parents and parents-to-be, with 250 who are currently pregnant and 250 who are trying to conceive. Results are also revealed some other interesting myths, such as seeing if certain animals could reveal your baby's gender, or even that listening to hard rock music has negative effects on a fetus. Tom Petty has proven that time and time again.
Listen, I don't think that's... I wouldn't classify him as hard rock.
You wouldn't?
Tom Petty? No.
Who would be hard rock?
I would say if you're going to have like a physical graffiti era... Led Zeppelin, maybe some Black Sabbath, some Deep Purple.
The Hard Rock Cafe has Phil Collins and Elton John displayed in their restaurant.
That is about as far as hard rock as one could possibly be.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
That's more like a soft, flaccid, less turgid type of rock.
Other unique findings include the beliefs that pregnant women shouldn't look at roadkill.
I've never heard that one.
Thunderstorms can induce labor, and if that a baby is born on their side, they'll be a genius. And although many of these things can't be proven until their baby is born, one thing most parents can confirm ahead of time is the gender of the baby. We should have a gender reveal party on this show. Are there any parents out there who are expecting that would like to do a gender reveal party in this studio?
I don't know, Steve. That sounds like the idea that comes from outside this building.
Well, listen, if we go through the cracks over in the cement over there, pink mold is for a girl and blue mold is for a boy.
Okay. Well, that seems like an accurate way of figuring it all out.
I think we should do a gender reveal party here in the studio.
That's a great idea.
I mean, listen, that would put us on the map.
Let's do it about the same time we do our big Halloween party.
Oh, yeah, the giant Halloween party.
The big one that people have been talking about for years.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to that anymore. They want gender reveal parties.
All right, well, listen. You move on to bigger things, I guess.
We should do that. We should do a gender... I think that's a great idea.
Sure.
I bet you nobody's ever thought of that before.
Someone has thought of that.
A gender reveal party on morning radio?
Yes.
Come on. Who would think of something like that?
Only some sort of half-rate dope, but that's just me.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be sunny with a high of 65. It's 49 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:51 at AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be sunny today with a high of, 65 tomorrow. Cloudy with a high of 74. It's 50 right now in downtown Springfield.
Yeah, it's going to have a couple of warm days before it starts getting colder again. But which is great if you're got a cold or a sinus infection. Nice hot weather.
Oh yeah,
that feels good.
That feels great.
So tonight there's a $30 dinner and a comedy show because of $30 because it's for charity.
Yeah,
right? You get the East Longmeadow basketball.
East Longmeadow basketball program. So the extra $10 that goes to the charity, it should be a great night. We got Darren Rivera tonight closing out the show.
Nice.
And it's at the back room at the shortstop. And you know what else they got back there now?
What?
Because the batting cages are gone. The guy who owned the business retired, so there's no more batting cages, and they turned that into a big room now.
Okay.
Called the Garage.
The Garage.
Yeah, it's this really big. Well, it was the old police location.
Right.
You're talking about businesses that used to be something.
Well, now that's it.
It was a police garage, so they got this big area there, and they're having this Sticky Sweet, this Def Leppard tribute band free show on Saturday night.
Very nice.
Yeah, so there you go. Lots of things going on over at the shortstop, and tonight, no exception. $30 dinner and a comedy show. Now,
tomorrow night, I'm going to be introducing Thomas Walsh at Venice Valley in Ludlow.
Tom Petty light.
No, nothing even remotely close to Tom Petty.
It's the Tom Petty cover band.
Raspberries Records in Ludlow and East Longmeadow are presenting the show. It's going to be great. If you don't know anything about Thomas Walsh, he is fantastic. A great songwriter, really interesting guy, and be performing in a short East Coast acoustic tour. I've seen him a couple of times. Phenomenal. Talked to him 3 times on the podcast. Great stuff. And I'll be your host.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You're hosting it.
I'm hosting. I'm coming out of the woodwork and going to host my friend Thomas Walsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Petty Walsh.
He sounds nothing like Tom Petty.
Well, some of the songs do.
No, not even close.
We did this yesterday.
Yeah, I know we did that yesterday.
And people agreed that
no,
Beck and Tom Petty.
Not even close.
Yeah. Listen, man, I don't know. Everybody hears something different. And you are hearing something like, wow, look at this, fresh and new music. And everybody else is like, that sounds like Beck and Tom Petty.
No, it doesn't sound like Beck or Tom Petty. He's got his own style, his own deal, his own thing.
And Supertramp. There was a Supertramp song that he did.
Supertramp.
Go ahead, play one of his songs.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Play one of his songs, and we'll see which one it sounds.
Okay. All right. Here you go.
Yeah, just a thriller night.
Doesn't sound anything like that.
All the young dudes carry the news.
He doesn't doesn't sound like Mott the Hoople.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
Sounds more like Mott's applesauce is what he sounds like. Give me another song. Go ahead.
Another
Yeah,
song?
give me another song.
All right.
Pugwash.
Here we go. Pugwash and Thomas Walsh. Here we go. Another good.
You gotta be cruel to be kind. Cruel to be kind in the right measure. I'm telling you, you can pick any one of this guy's songs and he sounds like somebody else. Go ahead, pick another one.
Okay.
This sounds like Foo Fighters right here.
It does sound like the Foo Fighters.
This sounds like the Foo Fighters right here.
All right, I'll pick another one.
All right,
okay,
go
here we
ahead.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Michael Bublé.
You sound like Michael
Yes, he
Bublé.
does. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Yeah, go ahead, play another one.
All right, okay. Here we go. All right, this may sound like a little Tom Petty.
I was gonna say, this sounds exactly like Tom Petty. And I won't back down. No, 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 I won't back down.
All right, listen, that's you feel the way you feel. I feel the way I feel.
I'm pretty
love
sure
Thomas
everybody
Walsh.
else feels the same way.
And listen, all I can tell you is the people that are going to be there tomorrow night at Vanish Valley are going to have a great, great time. And I happen to have a pair of tickets to the show.
Oh, Tom Petty and the Heartbreaking.
Thomas Walsh.
Yeah, whatever.
Formerly of Pugwash. He's also in a band that does songs only about the game of cricket.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bore you with that.
That is the most Tom Petty thing I've ever heard.
Anyway, 10th caller right now, 293-1021, gets to join me with Thomas Walsh from Pugwash at Vanish Valley tomorrow night, brought to you by Raspberries Records.
He was great in the Eagles.
Stop it. 8:57 at Rock 102.
Rock 102.